Hello. Yeah, I had to get away from the living room, so I'm on the bed. Yeah. I'm back. Don Ashes, good day. How are you? Kama Munira, Aladia Dewale, Anyao Kingsley, Albert Agbodo, my brother, Aleke Efua, John Izon, AMG Villa, Bright Note. Hello, bros. Hi. Newly gotten admitted to UCW. What is that? Can you, Lee GBK, can you tell us what UCW is? It doesn't click in my mind right away. So, Abdul Kudus from Saudi Arabia. Patrick Heze, Choco Millionaire, I greet you. It's my first time. Welcome. Guys, let's welcome Patrick Heze. It's first time joining us on the live feed. Patrick, welcome. And Ahmed doesn't stop reminding everybody to share. The power of sharing makes information go around. The only reason why you found my page is because somebody shared. Please help by also sending the love around by sharing. All right, please share. Anyao Kingsley, which school is that? Which school is asking you for IELTS? Which school? I know for sure you don't need an IELTS to take if you are from an English-speaking country like a Commonwealth country. Tell us the name of the school. I'm going to check myself. And if possible, send an email to the school. Let them clarify that for you, okay? University of Canada West. This school has come up. I recommend you do. How much are you okay? Lee? Are you okay with the fees? I think this school is in British Columbia, if I'm not wrong. I hope you're okay with the fees. If not, remember you can always pick a school which suits your budget, okay? But if you're happy with that, congratulations then, okay? Is the IELTS, those who are asking for IELTS, is this only specific to those applying from Nigeria? I'm not sure. Not all schools ask for that, so please check. And always remember you can email the school and have them clarify that, okay? Because if you were taught in English, and English is your first language, you don't need an IELTS if you're coming to school. Do you have an idea if anyone has received an update or study permit for fall semester? A gentleman contacted me yesterday to tell me his visa has been approved. He's coming to do a master's degree. He doesn't want to put his name out there now, but he wants to arrive in Canada first, and then he's going to share that story. But he told me he's gotten his visa. I don't know when he applied, but he wanted to let me know that he's gotten his visa. Yeah. Nana Achampon Wahine, not all the schools require IELTS, right? Because I checked on North Atlantic College and IELTS isn't a requirement. All right, thank you, Nana, for sharing that. Chidozie Oze, any hope for undergraduates who currently have WAEC result only? You can actually apply to a college to come and do a college program here. There are some cheap colleges, so you can do that. All right, guys, let me go straight to the topic of accommodation. I hope somebody can wake Grace Lavie up because she has bugged me with this question over and over again. Grace Lavie, Grace Lavie, this is a special request from you and many other people. If you are sleeping, we hope you wake up and watch it. I wish you were here live so you could ask all your questions. Yeah, it is probably about 9:32 in Nigeria, 8:32 in Ghana, and about midnight in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya. And yeah, in Philippines, the time is also different. All right. All right, Patrick. Patrick, you want to watch my video? I have an old video. Patrick has a question. He wants to apply to Memorial University. He needs help. Patrick, I recommend you start off by watching my old videos on scholarship, how to get a scholarship, and how to come to a college. These two videos will be a very good starting point for you, okay? Ahmed Kamal, sir, can I ask you something before you proceed on today's topic? Yes, Ahmed, please go ahead. Chidoze Oze, I hope there are more job opportunities over there while studying. There are more job opportunities here than the whole of Africa. That I can tell you for sure. The unemployment rate in Canada is 5%. I always say that if a man is not lazy, he can always get a job right away when it comes to Canada. But it depends on you, your type of job, and what you're willing to do. I can do any kind of job. Yeah. Are you lying down? Yes, I'm lying down in bed. I'm actually in bed now. So yeah, I'm in bed, lying down in bed. This is from KC Quay. All right, Ahmed, I'm still waiting for your question before I start. It looks like, Ahmed, you have a question or you want to say something. My reason for coming to the bedroom is because my little girl will hijack the conversation. So I don't want to disturb you guys, knowing that it's very late in Africa. Yeah, that's why I came here. TJ Uwa, good evening, sir. How do I find a scholarship that are legit? There is a video on scholarship, how to get scholarship to come to Canada. Please go through my old videos. You will find that video there. I may have also posted it on my YouTube channel this morning. So check my YouTube channel and see if you find it there. The name is Choco Millionaire. All right, Kamal, your question or your comment is not coming, so I might as well just go straight into today's conversation, okay? Kamal Ahmed. Abdul Kudus Haji, please, brother, I'm asking how can we join in Canada as truck driver. I'm going to do a video on truck drivers. I'm still gathering enough information. As soon as I have that, I'll let you know. Thank you for your answer. Currently, I have about 20,000 for undergraduate studies. You think it's enough? It depends on the school you choose. Remember the school. If you have 20,000, that could be just enough for a school in college, like a college, 1 year college here. But if you carefully choose a good school, which is cheaper, it could be enough to help you with your fees. And you definitely would need a bit more than that to prove your bank statement, in your bank statement, to also show that you can bear the cost of your living, right? Can you get a job or a work there to fund your education? So here is it. Before you come in, you should have paid your fees. That's the first thing. And then whilst you're working, whilst you're in school, you could be doing some work to save money. So you are not planning to come here and work before you pay your fees. They would have asked you to pay your fees before you come in. So have that in mind. You need to pay your fees before you come in. All right, Ahmed, I missed your question. Oh, question sent. Ahmed, I didn't see it. Can you just post it? I always recommend you copy your question so that if I miss it, you can just post it back. All right, Ahmed, I missed your question. I'm going to read that if it comes later on, but let me go straight to today's, the main issue, right? Accommodation. All right. So accommodation. All right, accommodation. Accommodation. Accommodation is key, is basic. Everybody needs an accommodation to live. So if you did any schooling in Africa, if you are not moving from your house, then you definitely need an accommodation. You need one here too because this is a foreign land to you, right? So you need one. Now, I'm going to start with international students, and then after that, I can move to non-international students, people who are coming here for permanent residence and they don't have to go to school, or maybe they are coming with their families for some other reasons, or maybe somebody who is coming because it's a truck driver or something. If you are not coming as a student, what could you also do with accommodation? So accommodation here is generally expensive. It is even more expensive. We are talking about accommodation, Ikuroma Mark. We are talking about accommodation for international students and non-international students. Accommodations prices here are generally expensive compared to Africa. In Ghana, you could get, I'm very familiar with Ghana, so I can talk about Ghana. You could get an accommodation for as cheap as maybe less than $100, or for a month. Maybe even some of them are probably about $70 or $60 or something for a month, right? But over here, generally, they are expensive. A student rental is ideal for somebody who is coming in as a student. A student rental is ideal for somebody who is coming in as a student. What is a student rental? They are accommodation facilities purposely just for students, international students or Canadian students. They tend to be a little bit more cheaper than regular apartments where you just go and rent because you just want to stay in an apartment. Apartments are like tall buildings where you have everything by yourself and you don't share anything, right? But student rentals, you normally may share some things with some people. If you want a student rental where you don't share anything, there is a good chance the price will be a little bit more expensive. So let me start by using my own experience, okay? When I came here in 2014, accommodation was one of the things that gave me a lot of headache. I didn't know anybody in the university I was coming to when I got my admission. Guys, I had my admission with scholarship. I had gotten my visa. I had bought my plane ticket. And then it hit me right away. I'm like, wow, how do I get accommodation? So I went to the website of the university and I started looking for their student housing, links, any link on there for international student housing. And I did all my research. I didn't know anybody in the university. I didn't know anybody there. I didn't know any Ghanaian that was there. I didn't know anybody. So Ahmed, your question, what are some of the courses that can land you a fast job opportunity in Canada? Ahmed, I will talk about that, okay? I'll talk about that. I didn't know anybody. So here I had an admission scholarship, but I didn't know anybody. And I had bought my plane ticket. And then I started asking, what do I do? So I went on Google. I Googled the city. I Googled housing in that place. But it's always so challenging if you don't know anybody in that country and you're just going to just look for a house. It's challenging. Because the thing is that you are not yet here. The accommodation must be ready waiting for you. So when you move in, you are moving straight to your room. You don't want to now move and then you don't have anybody. If you are coming in and you don't have anybody either from the school or friends who are already in that place or people from your country in that school or in that city, and you're coming as a solo person with no connection, it's hard. I know a gentleman from Ghana who came in January of last year, I believe. Yeah, last year, January. And he didn't know anybody. I think he actually got information from somebody, but it wasn't really helpful. He ended up staying in a hotel for a couple of days. And you can imagine hotel fees, over $300 per night. So in 3 days, this guy was already doing about $1,000 already. When I heard that, my heart really, really was pained. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. I didn't have to pay hotel bills when I came in. but it was definitely very tough for me to get an accommodation. Um, at the very last minute, I was able to find somebody. So what I did was this. I went on Facebook and I typed the name of my university, and then I added the name of Ghana. So for example, let me use this one. Say I'm using University of Toronto, for example, as an example. I went to Facebook and I typed Ghanaian students at University of Toronto. And I typed that on Facebook and I ran a search. And I didn't care if I knew you or not. I was just looking for people who look like Ghanaians and just so I can add them and send them a message. So I did that. I got some people. I sent many of them. Some of them didn't respond. Some of them didn't respond. 3 days later, one person responded and said, you know what? I'm no longer a student there, but I can definitely connect you to somebody. And I appreciated that guy so well. And he hooked me up with somebody on Facebook who connected me to another person, and they went on like that. And it turned out all of them have finished school a long time ago, right? They were old students, but they tried their best to connect me to somebody there. And eventually I was able to connect with somebody who was a student and was also a master's student. He's now almost my best friend. He lives in my city now. And this guy helped me. He helped me to find an accommodation in his house. It turns out that there were 2 bedrooms available where he was living, and the rent was so cheap, $350 a month. $350 for a 1 bedroom in a self-contained house, right? A basement. A basement unit is like, here their houses always have an underground one, right? They do have an underground house. So it's not like Africa where we build everything on the main floor. They build a little bit deep into the ground, and then it's a whole apartment. So where I'm talking to you guys now, it's actually a basement unit. I'm in a basement, right? So there is actually somebody on top of me, right? And that is like the main floor, but I am in the basement. Right? So I was in the basement of 3 bedroom. We had a kitchen, which was in the living room. We had a bathroom as well, with a toilet fixed in there, and we had a laundry room. So these 3 things were all there: laundry room, bathroom, and kitchen. But each and every person had his own bedroom with his own key. For some reason here, they don't lock their doors. When I came in, I was asking the landlady for my key, and she said, here we don't give key. I said, but why now? If somebody comes steal, they say here they know they steal. They don't steal. I said, all right. It was a bit weird, but that's the truth here. Most people don't lock their doors here, especially the inside doors, because like thievery is just, crime is just so low when it comes to petty thieves, right? I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's just so low. People don't, my doors in my inside, they don't have a lock. Don't have a lock. I was so surprised anyway. So my accommodation was $350 a month. Now, if you do the conversion to your currency back home, you will think it's a lot of money. That's true. But it's actually one of the cheapest you could get for the time I was renting. The 1 bedroom was around $400, $450, but I was able to get mine for $350. And guys, it is not just the normal accommodation that we get in Africa. Their accommodation for student rentals mostly come furnished. It comes furnished. I'm going to explain what it means. Now, you are hearing my son cry. My mommy is taking care of him. Sorry. John Henry's crying. Now, the accommodation here is furnished. What does it mean? It means all you need to do is to come in with your bag and sleep. It's almost like a hotel. Everything is in there. So there is a mattress already. You may be lucky to get even a bed sheet if the landlord is really good. It comes with furniture. It comes with a fridge already. It comes with a stove. It comes with some utensils. It comes with a laundry machine, so you don't need to. Most of them include laundry machine where you do free laundry. So you go put your clothes in the machine, you tap it, and it just washes your clothes for you. You don't have to pay water bill. Most of these things are included in a student rental, like as all inclusive. All inclusive means that you don't pay anything. You don't pay your light bill. You don't pay water bill. You don't pay anything. You basically just pay the rent. You enjoy all the utilities for free. It's basically all included in there. So that is actually what we still get as student rental here. It's called all-inclusive. So if you are looking for a rental facility as a student, make sure you ask whether it is an all-inclusive or not an all-inclusive. Most student rentals are all-inclusive, meaning you don't have to pay water bill, no electricity bill. Some may even provide you with a home phone where you can actually receive calls on it, a home phone line. You don't have to pay to do your laundry. It's free. You don't need to buy your own stove to cook. There is an electric stove or a stove already there. The kitchen may have appliances already. Your fridge is there. Your microwave is there. Your bed is already there. All you need to do is to put your bed sheet on, and then, and basically life is already good. That is what they mean here by, this is how the basic accommodation here is, all-inclusive. The ones that are not all-inclusive are normally ones that are rented to families. So I have a tenant here, for example. When I rented my facility, the main floor, to her, I provided certain things to her, but I didn't provide everything. So she came with her own bed. I didn't provide a bed. She came with her own furniture. I didn't provide it, but I provided her with fridge and stove, right? And some few things. That's because she's a family. She's not a student. But normally with students, all of these things are included already. So it means when you come, now only your bag where you go carry. You carry just your bag, you move straight in, and then you're already sleeping. It was one of the shocks I had anyway, because I started comparing it to back home in University of Ghana. When you're going in, you will actually go in and buy your own things, you buy everything. You buy your own this, you buy your own this. Some of them provide the beds. The beds are actually there, but basically, no kitchen, no this, no that. All these things are included here, right? So that is the beauty of it. Now, that was in 2014 though. Is it still the same to rent, especially in Ontario? So the rent in the big provinces are slightly expensive. Today, you can get a student rental for an average of $450 to $550 or even $600. It depending on the location. If you are in a very, very big city like Toronto, you may even struggle to get it in $600. You may be lucky to get $500, but the big cities are a bit always expensive, right? Just because of the location. The more you move away from the big cities, the cheaper you get them. So in places like Prince Edward Island and Newfoundland, you could get as cheap as maybe $300, maybe $200 or something, or maybe $3 something, or maybe $400. They are cheaper. It always depends on the location. Number two, some people just don't like sharing their space with other people. If you are the type who wants to come and stay in your own house, share nothing with anybody, have your own apartment, definitely then you're going to pay premium rent for that. You may be paying probably $600, $700, $800 or $900 a month for just your own apartment where you don't share nobody. Do some people do this? Yes. Those who have money and they don't really care, their parents are paying it, they can afford that. But if you are a hustler, and you are an ajekpako, and say things no day well, you carefully choose a place that is cheap and we cut your coat according to your budget. I didn't want to spend, so I made sure I had a very cheap. That was the one thing I asked. Make sure it's cheap, but make sure it's good too. Sometimes you might go for a cheap rent, but maybe the facility might not be the greatest, or the area that you'll be living might not be maybe the greatest or nicest of area. So I always look for quality but cheap, or quality but affordable. Don't go for quality. Don't go for cheap accommodation that is in a very horrible area, or an area where maybe you don't have students and you have maybe people who they smoke igbo or something like that, doing funny things around there, right? So always choose an area which is safe, and most likely an area where you have some of your people from your country living there, so that when you need help, you can easily ask for help. Okay, that is it for student rental. Now, there are also two kinds of student rentals. You could also rent on campus or off campus, guys. On campus means that these are rental facilities like residences, like the normal traditional hostels we have on campus in Africa, which are run by the university or a private institution. Now, this one tends to be slightly higher than the ones that are off campus. I was off campus all through my studies. It took me just 6 minutes on the bus to just connect to campus. 6 minutes on the bus and I was already on campus, right? But there are some people, especially people from places where they have money, like Chinese students, their parents have money. Some of them, some of them calls are coming through. I'm just trying to drop them. Some of them will live on campus or off campus. I find that people who live on campus are people who are from wealthy backgrounds and they don't care about the money. People who may not have a lot of money normally don't stay on campus. So I am you are Paco, eh? That thing, Igele. All right. So, if on-campus residences tend to be a little bit more expensive, by maybe $100 or $200 more than off-campus. So I recommend that if you know yourself and you know you're on tight budget, find a decent place off campus, not too far, 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away from campus, and then find a place there. All right. It will be really, really helpful. On-campus ones, you can get them through the school. Your school might actually recommend them to you. Most of them have on-campus for international students. And yeah, it will help you. Now, there is also something called homestead accommodation. Homestead accommodation. What is a homestead accommodation? Homestead. Homestead accommodation. It is where a landlord provides you an accommodation but jacks up the rent a little bit more and say, you know what, I'm going to provide you one meal a day, maybe breakfast and dinner. So if I'm a landlord, imagine if I have students up here and I want to do homestead. It means if I'm charging them $450 a month or $400 a month for each room that they are renting, I may add maybe extra $100 more, and then I'll promise them in the contract that I'll provide them maybe 2 meals, maybe a breakfast in the morning and then dinner in the evening. Some people do that. I don't like doing it because I think it's too stressful to provide food for students every day. Students can be very picky. They will want to eat this today, tomorrow they want that. It's too stressful. I don't do that. But there are some few people who do homestead. They'll provide you with a meal, and then, I know some few Ghanaian students who came to a college here and they lived in a house where they are enjoying homestead. Whilst their friends were paying $400 or $450 a month, they were paying $700, $800 a month for the same housing, all because they were doing the homestead. I'm not saying homestead is bad, but I'm saying you better know what you are getting when you are doing a homestead so that you can compare the prices. All right. If you don't have money, homestead might not be the smartest thing for you. It's much cheaper for you to cook your own food than for somebody to do it for you and charge you extra. Right. It's like catering service on top of your thing. Right. Would they give you fufu? Kingsley, Chukwebuka. Let me answer that question for you. This guy who got a homestead, it depends on your landlord. If your landlord is an African from your country, it's possible you might get some local dishes, right? But this guy who was doing a homestead as a student from Ghana, his landlord is Canadian, so the kind of food that he was being fed every day, he didn't like it. Obviously, you can tell culture-wise, we don't have the same food. Even though I live here, I eat Ghanaian food almost all the time because we make our own Ghanaian food, right? I'm still adapting to Canadian food even after how many years I've lived here. That tells you that food-wise, you may, if you don't get a landlord who knows your culture, you definitely will be waking up to a soup that is different and dishes that are different, and you may struggle to adapt to that, okay? So always do your research. I don't recommend a homestead for somebody who is on a low budget. I recommend you make your own food. It's not too expensive to make your own food. It's cheaper to buy groceries, and then you can. It's not too expensive. When in my house of 3 students, all of us were on masters, doing our masters on scholarship. We came together to cook together. We used to cook together, so we'll go and do shopping together, and then we split the bill. We'll share the bill. We'll come with a receipt, and then how much is it? Maybe $90 for the groceries with it, and then we share it. Everybody pays $30, and basically when we cook, everybody eats the food, right? But this only works for people who are united and together. If you go find some roommates who are very mean and stingy, which happens sometimes, it might lead to fight. You guys might fight over food. You might curse each other over food and all of that. So you don't have to force yourself to cook with somebody. If you can do your own thing, do your own thing. Go to the kitchen, cook your own food, put it in your fridge, and you're good. But if you think you guys are wise enough to live together and then save money, you can definitely save money. There are some people who are also gluttons. They eat belly food. They go eat. So you make the food before you realize that person has finished all the food. Before you join forces with somebody, always make sure you know the people. And then some people are also very lazy. They will want to eat, but they won't want to cook, right? So always know the pros and cons. Don't rush into something you don't know. Always study people, know how people are before you do your thing, okay? All right. Was my job closer to my accommodation? My job was a teaching assistant, so I was teaching on campus as a teaching assistant, helping the lecturers. So I was teaching first year students, so it was on campus, and it was 6 minutes away. But when I was doing my other job, yes, that was 20 minutes away or 15 minutes away. So I used to go there with a car and just to go get my job done, and I'll come back. All right. That is for student rental. Now let's talk about non-student rental. Now this is normally for people who are coming here but they are not coming for school. Maybe they got their permanent residence. Maybe they are coming with their family. Maybe you are coming with your wife. Maybe you are coming with your kids. It gets more expensive when you are adding more bedrooms. The more the bedrooms, the more expensive it is. For example, I live in a 2-bedroom basement with my wife and my 2 kids. Me and my wife share one room. My 2 kids share one room. They have their beds there. My little one is just 2 weeks old. So the other bedroom is just for my 22-month or almost 2-year-old girl. She sleeps in the other room. For this room, for example, if a family is renting this place all by themselves, not sharing the place, they could be paying close to $1,000 a month or even more than $1,000 a month, depending on the city, right? The more the bedrooms and the more, so basically look at it this way, guys. The more you have the whole space and you are not sharing anything with anybody, and the bedrooms are more than one, the more you are into the thousands there. Now, I have done a bit of research. Accommodation is so cheap in the Atlantic provinces. So in Newfoundland, in Prince Edward Island, in Nova Scotia, and these places, accommodation is relatively cheaper. In fact, some of them are giving 2-bedroom for 600, 2-bedroom for 500, 2-bedroom for 700, right? Whilst in Ontario, 2-bedroom is over $1,000, right? Now real estate is so crazy in Ontario, so everything is expensive in terms of real estate and accommodation because the market has gone crazy in the last few months alone, right? So I guess what I'm saying is, if you are coming in as a family, always know your budget. What is your budget? How much income are you going to be making in a month so that you can be able to plan all of that? What I do find here is that people who are coming here as non-students and have 2 kids, 3 kids, they go for a big house where they own the whole house, maybe 5-bedroom, 4-bedroom, and maybe they don't need all the bedrooms, right? And by yet they go for the whole house, and then they end up paying over $1,000 of rent every month, and then they complain that, oh, I'm making money, but all of it is going to rent. That is because budget-wise, your budget does not meet your living expenses, right? So I always recommend, if you really want to be smart in this country, cut down your cost of rent. Cut it down. I am lucky today. I don't pay rent. I don't pay rent. I know they pay rent to guys. I live for free. The reason because I'm no longer a renter. I know they rent. I they own. And as I they own now, as I did this house, now somebody where they pay rent where they collect to. Are they collecting rent, they take pay bills. When me a day inside the other unit for free. You see, where I get other ones too. So so it makes it very easy for me to now live for free. But before that, I was paying rent. The highest rent I paid was about $450 or $500. That was before I bought my own house. All right. Can you source accommodation before coming? Yes, you can. In fact, the moment you get your visa, accommodation is the next thing you want to get. Accommodation. I'm going to give you some website you can use to get accommodation. Okay. All right, guys. So if you're coming out as a family and you got in a permanent residence approved and you're coming in straight without school and you're coming to work, if it's just you, I recommend you go find a cheap place like a student rental place or something. Since it's just you, right? Yeah. I mean, just you don't have a family. Go find a single place and just go and stay. But if you come and do big life and you want all the space by yourself, 2, 3-bedroom, you alone go there inside, then you pay a lot. Okay, it's expensive. You just think of rent in Abuja or Lagos or Accra or Tema, East Legon or Nairobi. This place is rent day expensive, so you must live smart. You must live smart. 2-bedroom is 1,500 in Alberta. That's right, huh? My here, this one we they see for here now 3-bedroom way on top. Oh. This person they pay more than 1,000. She they pay 1,600 to me. That now how much we should they pay? How money was the one I went to deposit the last time in the ATM? But she get 3-bedroom for the all inclusive. No, they pay rent. No, they pay any other thing. Just that one. You see? But now in choice, so now in choice, in a low way they there, in a low way they there, you know they there with anybody. You get one picking, but in one all the 3-bedroom. Now in choice, now in choice. You see, me where I be the landlord. Now only 2-bedroom I get to. Yeah? You see the difference. So all I'm saying is, be smart with your accommodation. If you're a student coming alone with no wife, no kids, no need to go and rent a place 2-bedroom and stay there. I'm not saying you have to, but if you know you have money, go and rent it. If you know you don't have the money, go and live small and finish your school. When you finish, you can go and enjoy your life later on. Huh? All right. My wife and I are applying for college in New Brunswick. Is it possible we can live together on campus? On campus will be a bit expensive. I recommend an off campus to you. Meaning try and get a house off campus and find a place where New Brunswick is much cheaper in rent. Huh? Find a place where you can get maybe a 1-bedroom that has everything if you are not coming with your kids. This to Robert Ajimankusi. If you could get a 1-bedroom where you have your own kitchen, your own bathroom, and you don't share anything, your own laundry, where you can do your own laundry, then you are good. That's what I would say to you, okay? But don't go and take 2-3-bedroom where you have the whole house and you and your wife are sleeping in just 1-bedroom. And the other 2-bedroom are just there growing fertilizer. See, just be smart with how you spend the money there. And remember, always do your research and save on rent, okay? Can I find accommodation on St. John's campus? You can. Remember, guys, I'm recommending off campus. Off campus is slightly cheaper than on campus. There is also something very, very weird about on campus that I don't like. I don't like on campus when I was in Ghana, University of Ghana, I was on campus. But there is something about off campus I don't like. It is where all the drama happens. The drama of partying and drinking and smoking and womanizing, and they all happen on campus. Many people on campus are not there for the books. Their parents are rich. Their parents did. Some of them are Canadians. They don't even care about their own lives. Some of them don't even care about this country the way you do. You are coming for your papers. Some of them, they are already here. They are citizens. They are just in school. You're going to live on campus with these people, huh? They will be having parties every Wednesday and Friday and Saturday, playing music, and they will be disturbing you. Before you realize, you didn't even plan to womanize, you start womanizing, just because they are bringing girls every day. So me, I know they like trouble. I they stay off campus. I they stay with 2-3 guys where they serious like me. We they stay one place. We they stay one place where we they do our own thing. Me, I don't like staying on campus. So if you want to choose an on campus, it's your choice, but I prefer an off-campus. What is the difference between a condo and a studio apartment? A condo is like a unit within a very big apartment. You know these tall buildings called apartments with different units, right? So a condo is a unit within it. Condos are a bit more expensive to rent. I wouldn't recommend a condo to a student who is international. If you have enough money and you want to rent a condo, that's up to you. But a house is cheaper than condo, depending on the location. If, for example, in Toronto, a 1-bedroom condo is about $1,800 to $2,000. In the city where I live, a 1-bedroom condo is almost about $900 to $1,000 or something like that. But a 1-bedroom in a house could be about $450. You see? What is the difference between a house and a condo? A house is a 3-bedroom house, not a tall apartment. Condos are like multi-units, multiple units, like first floor, second floor, third floor. Those are the things we call apartments. And then the units, the number of units inside them, which are all self-contained, are the ones that we call condos here. Okay, condominium. That's the full name, condominium. All right. I don't deal with agents, so I can't answer the question about agents. I'm not a fan of agents because most agents in Africa don't do their job and they charge people and do people. But definitely there might be 1 or 2 good ones there. I don't recommend any agents to you. I think you can do everything by yourself. All right. I never have paid any agent. That's why I can't just easily recommend. Maybe they are good. Maybe I don't know. But me, I don't use it. I do everything myself. All right. Now, how can you get an accommodation? You've gotten your visa. You want to get an accommodation. How do you start it? One, try and know somebody in the school, or try and know somebody in the place. For example, you could ask the school by sending them an email. Is there any current student or a past student who is from Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, or from Africa who I can connect with? Most schools will share their contact. They're going to reach out to that person and say, you know what, we have a new student coming and they would like to touch base with you. Is it okay if we share your contact information? If the person says yes, they are going to put the two of you together. That's one way. So you can ask the school to try and hook you up with current students or past students from your continent or your country so they can help you with your settlement. That is one way. Number two, you can definitely also use the platform that I created called Canada Visa Forum to post there. You can actually post your question there and say, hey guys, I just got my visa. I'm buying my ticket. I plan on coming. Anybody with any links in this city, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be surprised at how many people will come out and say, you know what, hey, I'm going to help you with accommodation. I'm going to help you. For example, if you are coming to Ontario, I may just be helping you guys with your accommodation because I live here, right? And I know here very well. But if you're going to a different province, even if I know somebody there, so long as you go and post on Canada Visa Forum, there's a good chance we can always link people up and see who is going to help you with accommodation, finding the cheap one. So remember, make sure you like that page, Canada Visa Forum. It's going to be an important platform to help supporting each other with information. So two ways I just talked about: contacting the school so they can hook you up with a student or an old student from your country or your continent, or you could also use the platform on this Facebook that I've created, Canada Visa Forum, to post all your questions and then we can assist you with that. Then the third way is to do it yourself. Do it yourself, DIY, doing it yourself, finding your own thing yourself without anybody helping you. How can you do that? You can use some Obed Armstrong Mensa. You said you are coming to Canada this year. Is it good to start in a basement apartment? I started in a basement apartment. I don't have a problem with it. Basement apartments are not on the main floor, so if they don't have bigger windows, you might not enjoy the sunlight from outside as much. But I don't have a problem with it, guys. I'm not mostly home. I'm always working, so I don't really care, right? I don't really care. Obed, I will say that when his time is coming up, remember, contact us again when your time is coming up and let's plan. Let's have conversation. If I know your province and I know somebody, that will hook you up with somebody, okay? All right. Let me continue. There are also websites you can use to find your own accommodation, guys. I'm going to say the name. I'll appreciate if somebody writes it down there. The number one website that people use to find accommodation in the whole of Canada is Kijiji. Kijiji. So the spelling is Kijiji.ca. Kijiji.ca. Kijiji. Somebody can type it there. Kijiji.ca. Kijiji.ca is a website in Canada where we can find almost anything where we want except for human being. You can find almost anything where you want. It is like Google Trader. It is like OLS. It is like any platform that is a market platform where people post things. It is like your Craigslist. That is it. Robert, thank you for posting at kijiji.ca. Right? When you go there, you can literally run a search for accommodation within the city you are coming to. And it is going to just pull up all the available accommodations there for you. It's going to show you which ones are expensive, which ones are smaller, which ones are lower. You're going to see it. But here is the thing about kijiji.ca though, guys. You need to customize your search. In other words, if you don't customize, it's going to give you almost the most expensive ones first. You need to select the city you are coming to. You need to select even the price range you are looking for. You need to even select that you are looking for a house and not an apartment, or you are looking for an apartment and not a house. If you don't select all those things and check those things well, it might pull an apartment for you whilst you're looking for a house, or it might pull a house for you whilst you're looking for this. I personally have used Kijiji a lot of time. In fact, I use that to get my tenants when I'm trying to rent my facility. I use that, and I use that to sell my stuff. If there is something I don't like and I want to sell it, I list it on Kijiji and I sell it. It's a place where people list things and people buy things. So kijiji.ca is going to be something you want to write down, especially if you are making progress with your visa application or application. You want to write it down, you're going to need that. If you are not yet in Canada and you're using it, please remember, add the city. If you don't add a city, it's going to pull out from different places for you. So if you are coming to say Toronto, add Toronto. If you are coming to say Edmonton, add Edmonton. If you are coming to Vancouver, add Vancouver. If you are coming to, in fact, the city of the school, add it there. And even put, if possible, add the postal code, which is like the zip code in the US, right? The postal code is like a unique 6-digit number to assign to an address or a city. Add the postal code. It's going to pull up the location. And then it's going to run a search of all the accommodations available. And then you are going to be able to what? Contact. You send an email. So basically what you do is that you send an email to the person who has listed it. And you say, hi, my name is this. I'm interested in your place. I'm a student and I'm interested in your place. You don't even have to tell them you're not from Canada yet, right? You just disclose that. Don't disclose until they ask you for it. Just chat with them as if you're already here. You know, sometimes when they find out you are not here, they might jack up the price a little bit, yeah? So don't disclose where you are. Just tell them, hey, I'm interested in your place. Is it still available? And then they're going to email you back and say, yeah, it's available. And then you can tell them, oh, I need more pictures, or I need a video. Some of them will send you a video, right? If they already have pictures of the room there, you can. And remember, you can also go and pull the location on the map. You can go on Google and pull that location of the house, huh? You can pull it on the map and see how far it is from your school, so that you are able to tell distance-wise how many minutes it's going to take you if you go on a bus or with a car or something like that. You can check all of this on Google if you just run it on Google, right? It's something that is going to help you a lot. Kijiji.ca. Basically, there you can buy a phone, you can buy a used phone, you can even buy a used car. But just beware, there are many people there who may also be fraudsters listing fake things, trying to get some people they can swindle, all right? I'm not saying everybody is fake. About 90-something% genuine guys are there. But hey, guys, I can tell you, some of our African brothers who are into fraud, they even list fake things. They're trying to do people there. So be careful. In fact, be very careful when you're there. Make sure if there is something very suspicious about the person and he's already asking you for money, never pay the person money until you move in. Guys, put this in your head. Do not pay anybody money until you move into the house. Let them sign the paperwork to you if possible. Get somebody who you know or is on our page and can verify that person and can confirm that that is a genuine address and stuff like that. Do not wire money to anybody where they ask for money without you moving into the place. You go wire money if the person a fake person, maybe they somewhere in Africa, you don't run with your money. Never wire money to somebody without getting there. I recommend this. All right. Robert Ajimankosi, you have a kid who is under 2 years old. How easy is it to find a school there for a kid? I'm going to talk about that later, okay? All right, guys, so that is it there. Okay? Now, let me talk about the lease system here. Lease. Okay, there is also another platform you can use to search. There are different platforms, but Kijiji is obviously the biggest one. Kijiji.ca. Now, the second one is called Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace. Okay, let me go and pick my other phone. I'm going to try and run a search on Facebook Marketplace for you guys to see, okay? So bear with me. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is the other phone I have. It's my wife's phone actually. I want to pick that up. And so you can see on the top, it says marketplace, right? So basically where you have the search on the far right, all you have to do is to type that you're looking for this. Now, let me see. I'm going to type accommodation, student rental. Now, I just typed student rental and I ran the search. You can tell what it's doing here. You are seeing some as low as $325, some as low as $500 for one bedroom, right? So basically, you are seeing different ones with pictures and stuff like that. Can you see that? Can you really move in ahead of payment? I don't make the payment on the very day you are moving in. Do not look, guys, the only time you should make a payment before you move in is when you have somebody go to the place, check the place for you, somebody you know, confirm that that is legit, and then you get the lease. They send you maybe the agreement, the lease agreement electronically, and then you sign it and then you send it back. But never pay to somebody you haven't met unless your trust level in the person is so good. My reason is that you don't want to pay money to the wrong person only to realize that you came and then there is no place for you. This is just a safety advice. If I want to pay money to somebody in a foreign country I haven't been to, it's either I have a friend who is going to check that house and tell me that that's a legit thing, right? Else I ain't going to wire no money to you. I ain't going to do that. All right. There are more stories of people making payments and then there are no places, right? So you want to make sure, guys, on every platform, there are fake people messing up with the good ones. You want to make sure you do your due diligence before you make a payment. It's either you are moving on the same day. That's what I did. I never made any payment until I moved in the first day. The landlord was right there on the day when I moved in, signed the lease with me and then told me this is my room. And then I gave the money to her. I didn't pay no money until I moved in. That was even when somebody I knew in the house was there. I still didn't pay. Right? So, guys, when you do the things properly, you know how to. Now, the lease agreement, how does it work here? The lease, every house or every renter, you need a lease. A lease protects you as a student. A lease allows you to have your privileges protected. If you rent a house without a lease, if you get abused, you almost have nothing for your defense. So you need a lease. A lease is the contract between the renter and the landlord. If you don't have a lease, if something goes wrong, your money is gone. You don't know how to even chase it. You can't even go and report the landlord. You need a lease agreement, a contract. Now, the contract for rental is regulated by provinces, not the government. What it means is that the lease agreement in Ontario will be different from the lease agreement in New Brunswick or in British Columbia or in Quebec. They are regulated at the provincial level, so they might be different. But here is what is most likely common to all of them. You are only required to make a payment for your first month's rent. Guys, listen to this very well. In Ontario where I live, it is illegal to charge a tenant more than 1 month rent before they move in. I'm going to say this again. It is illegal to charge anybody in Ontario more than 1 month of rent before they move in. All they need to pay is 1 month. All that they need to pay is 1 month. They don't need to pay more than 1 month. Okay, let me make sure. The questions are not coming down anymore. I want to make sure I can read them. For some reason, these questions on this phone has stopped. I'm going to pick my other phone, okay? Give me a second. I want to make sure if there is a question. Is there a question coming? Guys, keep the questions coming just so I know if the problem is with the phone. Drop your emojis, comment, and let me know if your questions are all coming. The last question I see is from Festus Felicia. More grace, sir. Is that the last one? If it's not the last one, I want to make sure I don't miss your questions. All right. So can somebody let me know if I'm missing anything, anybody's question, or they are all up to date? Sometimes Facebook doesn't load all the questions. So I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody's question. Can somebody comment and let me know? Daniel Abbas, is yours the last comment? If I miss any question, just know that I asked you guys. I think it is. Okay, thank you. Precious is saying you think it is. Thank you. So let me go on. Now, guys, look at it here. Okay, Rania also commented, so I think we're good. We're good. Guys, in most provinces here, all you need is your first month rent in order to move into a house. You don't need a 1 year advance. You don't need a 2 years rent advance. In Ghana, it is so insane. You're going to rent a house and they want you to pay 2 years, 3 years advance. What kind of wickedness is this? Yeah, I was so surprised when I came and they said they only need 1 month rent. You don't need anything else. You need just 1 month rent. I hope this is good information. So if you have anybody who is asking you more than 1 month rent, suspicious. The law does not allow a landlord to take more than 1 month rent. It allows them to just take the first month. In fact, they introduced a new law in 2018 which made it illegal for a landlord to take more than 1 month rent, right? So I, as a landlord, I can't take rent from my tenant more than 1 month. I can only take just 1 month. And then when the month is ending and you're about to start the first day of the next month, then they make the payment for that one, right? So you pay on monthly basis. We don't have 2 years and 3 years of rent. I hope you understand. Okay. So that is a lease system here, okay? So don't worry about 2 years of rent. So those of you who are planning that, okay, maybe I need $10,000 for rent, I need this. You don't need that. All you need is your first month rent, okay? First month rent, and then you can move in, and then you pay the rest as you go on, okay? All right, so that is it on lease. I think I've covered lease. I've covered everything. What else on accommodation haven't I covered? I think there is something I wanted to talk about. Yeah, you are coming with your kids and you got a visa. You are coming to school, but you're coming with your kids. Is it easy? It's not easy, especially with kids, because you are in school, you're working, you have to take care of the kids. It's so stressful coming with the kids, huh? But I would still say it's still better than leaving them in Africa, because the system here is much better. If you have watched my interview with the lady, my friend Sarah Mafu, who came here with a 3-month-old baby and her husband, you probably will know she said it wasn't easy because she was in school, she has a newborn, and they came with a husband as well. And the husband was looking for a job to start. In fact, he started working in a very low income job, minimum wage, whilst he was a software programmer, IT guy, you know. And so he wasn't even working in his field, but they had to start small. So it's tougher for families that move together and one person is coming to school, or it's tougher when both spouses are in school and they come with kids. Because here is it, you don't have your grandmothers here, you don't have your grandparents here or aunties here to take care of your kids, and you still have to go to school. It's always tougher. You might put them in a daycare. You may be eligible for what we call subsidy. If you are an international student and you come with your kids, you might be eligible for subsidy. What is subsidy? It is actually an assistance given to you by the government just because you are a low income earner and you are in school and you have a kid who needs to go to the daycare. So basically when you send your kid to the daycare, you don't pay anything and you just send them to the daycare. And then when you close from work, from school, you go and then you go pick them up. Subsidy is only available to low income earners, people who make less than I think $50,000 or $60,000 a year. If you make more than that, there is a good chance you will not be eligible for subsidy. The reason is that the government thinks that you are making enough income. Why should we support you by paying the daycare of your kids for you? Subsidy is most likely almost available to all international students because the fact that you are international students already makes you a low income earner, right? You cannot work 40 hours a week. You only work 20 hours a week at part-time. So definitely your income is going to be probably less than $30,000 a year. And that means that if you have kids, they could go to school. If your kids are older than daycare, they can still go to school for free. Okay, education is free here for up to high school. It's free up to high school. So your kids can go to school and you don't need to pay anything, okay? This information could be helpful to anybody coming with kids. But the challenging part is combining school assignments with raising your kids when you have no aunties and Lazaris of, that is a challenge there. All right. That answers the question on. Now, let me take any questions on accommodation before I end the session. It's late. I want to make sure I wrap up. All right. I'm a big fan of renting a house instead of an apartment because apartments are more expensive. And apartments also are full of different human beings. Place where plenty people they live, I know they like a big tall house, apartment with different people living in. You can have people who do drugs. You can have some people who smoke, some people who are playing game all day. Some people are noisy party makers. I just like a place where I can have my own peace, right? So I'm a fan of a house. I'm a fan of a house. Yeah. Rent could be as low as $300, $350. It could be as high as $2,000, depending on how many bedrooms. Yeah. You could be lucky to even get some below 300, but it depends on the city and the location. The North Atlantic provinces, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, Manitoba, these places are much cheaper. Tinwa Adele says, oh my God, what an organized country. You see, now this way we they talk. Poor people's country. Poor people's country. Poor countries like Africa. When I say poor, not in terms of resources, poor in terms of management. See how life is expensive. You want to rent a place, you don't even make money, and they want you to pay 3 years advance. Is that not wickedness? Is that not wickedness? Is that not wickedness? Is that not wickedness? We are not talking about tuition, so Moses, I'm not able to answer the question. We've already covered that in a different. George Shidi Okereke, you are doing a good job. Thank you, sir. Is there any other question? Does anybody have any question on accommodation? Otherwise, I would have covered accommodation. Another time, I'm going to cover how you can work your flight out, how you can organize your flight, how you can get a cheap flight, how you can get a cheap transportation from the airport to your house or your location if it is not so close. And I'm going to walk you through everything and how to be smart with all of them. All right. I'm going to talk about how to live smart, how to spend less in Canada and still I'm going to talk about all of these things. I'm going to make videos to talk about all of them. So please share, let it reach many people. There are many people who come here and they definitely spend more than they should because they don't have the information and they don't ask or they don't know anybody. But I hope my information is getting you prepared already. Yeah. Amadi Kingozi, Mezino, God bless you. Thank you. Ebenezer Yankee, thanks for the information. God bless you. Joel Atta Chachu, what programs to select? We covered that already, Joel, on yesterday's video. So I recommend that you go to my videos from yesterday and you watch them. Eresi Fimba Hills, that would be great. Thank you. Obidi Hills, no, Obidi, sorry, I didn't mean to give you Hills. Obidi Ejimadu Udu, God bless you for all this. Thank you. Robert Ajimankusi, I hope this has been helpful to you. God bless you. Yeah, Robert, I need to also say this, guys. In Canada, they do have what is called Canada Child Benefit. Canada Child Benefit money or allowance for all children up until 18 years old. I'm going to say this. You need to hear this. Ajiman, you said you are coming with family. I think so. You need to hear this. They have something here that they call, is in all the provinces, it's from the federal government, so it's available in all the provinces. They have something that is called Canada Child Benefit. It is paid every month. It is normally given, okay, so it is basically a free money from the government of Canada to all parents who have a child who is not more than 18 years old. So from the time when you give birth to the child to the time where they turn 18, you are eligible to enjoy this money every month. I've talked about this before on my video, 10 reasons why you need to consider moving to Canada. All right, now, when you come here as an international student or as a permanent resident and you already have a child from your country, even though your child was not born in Canada, you are still eligible for this money. They don't discriminate. They give it to all children, whether they were born here or not born here. So long as they are below 18, you are eligible for it. However, if you are a student or a foreigner, I think you need to wait for about 18 months before you start enjoying it, especially if you're a student. You need to have waited for 18 months before you can qualify for the check. Okay? It is between $400 to $650 a month. It is given to you based on your income level. So the more income you get, the less you may get. You may get a $400 if you are making more than $60,000 or $70,000 or $80,000 or $90,000 a year. But if you make less than $50,000, there is a good chance you could get $500 a month, $600 a month, or something like that, right? So this is something that can support a family, somebody who comes with kids and is in school. This free money can come to you and you can use that to support yourself. You definitely need to wait for about 18 months before you start collecting that money. And I must also say that this money is not paid to the account of the father. It is paid to the account of the wife or the mother. They don't trust the fathers on this, so they pay it. So in my house, my children, right, even though I had John Henry 2 weeks ago, they will start paying the money. And it's going to go to my wife. It doesn't go to me. It comes to my wife. But of course, it's our money, right? We manage it together and we use that to take care of the kids. They believe that you're going to use that to support yourself in the case. I hope this is helpful. All right, guys, thank you so much. This will be it for today. Share the video, share and share and share. Subscribe to my YouTube. Watch the videos that I've posted on YouTube. I've added a lot more videos on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed them, and I'll see you another time. Tomorrow is late. God bless you. Remember, you don't need more money. You need more wisdom. You don't need more money. You need more wisdom. Let's pray for wisdom. God bless you. Bye.